Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You are listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
I'm Josh Chomik.
And I'm Jimmy Parks.
Welcome back.
What's up, guys?
Nothing much. Welcome back to another episode of The Garden State podcast where, like I just said, every ounce of news, we try to squeeze it out of this lemon. What?
You could have used like a Jersey reference like tomato.
No, this state's a lemon.
No, why?
We grow lemons here in the Garden State.
I don't think we do.
I have a lemon tree in my parents' backyard.
Oh, yeah, but we don't have any lemon farms. We got tomato farms.
There's no
We got
lemon farms in New
blueberry
Jersey?
farms. There's no lemon farms in New Jersey. I would be like willing to bet good money
I guess
on
with
that.
lemons, it's more in like warmer spots.
We got apple farms, apple trees.
Where are lemons made?
Florida would be my guess.
Tomatoes are our thing. We got Jersey tomatoes. And corn, Jersey fresh corn is great.
Squeeze every ounce out of that tomato.
Yeah, we could say that. But
All right.
tomato juices.
You don't really squeeze tomatoes like that.
Today, lemons are grown commercially throughout the Mediterranean region, including Spain, Italy, Morocco, Greece, Turkey, Cyprus, Lebanon, and Israel. They are also grown...
New Jersey?
No.
Oh.
Also grown in California.
Oh, nice.
Boys, welcome back.
It's so good to be back, man.
I feel like all of us were kind of all over the place this past week. None of us had been together. I was with Jimmy. I wasn't with Josh.
You guys started the first leg of your tour. You went to Boston, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, the past week is such a blur.
It's been great, though.
Jimmy and I were on tour. It's been incredible. We were 2 nights in Boston, played Radio City in New York City. And then it was just kind of like a crazy week because a few canceled shows due to the headliner being sick. So we were in Pittsburgh, then we came back home.
But it was a great day in Pittsburgh. That was such a fun day.
It was really cool. I went to a Pirates game.
Cool.
We just chilled and...
We also went to a Red Sox game in Boston.
Yeah, I went to 2 baseball games. I walked on the field in Fenway, which is really cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
The venue was connected to Fenway Park, so you could just like walk onto the field. So cool. And then we leave tomorrow for Philly, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. So the tour kind of kicks off from here. I'm leaving you boys. I'm going to be remote from here on out for the next few weeks, so it's going to be weird.
We'll have to figure it out and see if we can even carry on without you. It's going to be stress.
It's gonna be so
carry on
easy.
without. I'm going to be there, just like on the other side of the computer.
Did you guys put any Garden State stickers in Radio City?
I was thinking about it, but I didn't end up doing it.
I forgot.
We're going to start putting them places, though. Me and Chumik went for a walk around Pittsburgh the other day, and we just saw some stickers on a bridge, and we're like, we got to put a Garden State one there.
Honestly, I just forgot to carry them on me, so we got to do that.
Yeah, bring a stack and just start putting them everywhere. I think Radio City would have been the coolest venue, but it's all right.
I didn't
I've
see
always
anywhere
wanted to have
like
a sticker in the
Radio
middle
City
of
is like, it's very weird because it's like there's a lot of rules in that place. It's very
historic.
Yeah, you don't see it. Like backstage is not like these other venues where there's like stickers everywhere. There's like graffiti. No, this place is like untouched.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like scary to do something like that. You don't want to get in trouble.
Thrill of the kill, man. That would have been thrilling to get this to vandalize Radio City Music Hall.
Should have put on like the toilet or something.
Hey,
No one would ever know.
inside of the toilet, like you take the cap off and you stick it in there.
Like aim here. We should make that. Josh, you went fishing this weekend. That's like you did something.
So for the weekend recap, I went down a little charter boat out of Keyport, and we went basically into the Sandy Hook Bay, but all around that general area, and we were catching stripers, baby, and it was a fun time.
Those were some big stripers.
Yeah, and there was 2 ways we fished. There was like a lure that got dragged behind the boat. You ever use one of those?
Yep.
What are they called? Is that like a dragging lure?
I just know as a lure.
So they would drag, and the first one, like this is at, I don't know, the first one of the day. So maybe like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
We immediately get a bite, and we're going along, and I start reeling in. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like 10 cranks, and my arms were like, I was like, I can't do this. So my brother is like making fun of me. He grabs the rod and he pulls it in. This fish was the biggest striper I've ever seen in my life. It was huge.
Dude,
and
small stripers are a pain to like reel in. I
this
can
one,
imagine
and
how
especially
hard
with
that
it dragging
is.
behind the boat. It was like, I'm not even gonna lie, I gave up. It was enormous. And he took a pic. My brother took a picture of it. And he's like, "Yeah, take a picture." And I'm like, "That's not my fish." I gave up on it.
Did you eventually end up catching another big one?
Yeah, well, we caught a bunch, but like the lure behind the boat, that fish was just such a monster. I've never seen one so big. And the guy was like, that's the second biggest of the season. That's
Wow.
a big fish. And he goes out like
What was the size? Do you remember?
Well, it was way too big to keep. So bigger than, I think 38 is the limit. So it
Wow.
was probably.
Oh, I didn't know that there was like a too big of a
Yeah.
size.
So it was way too big. And I think he said 50 pounds. That sounds enormous.
Why would they not let you keep a big fish?
Because they want to protect the population. So that would be like a mama fish that's going to probably lay a bunch of eggs. You know, it was a huge fish. My brother's a big guy. He's like 6'2" and 250 pounds, and he's holding it, and it looked big when he was holding it. So I was like, that's a big fish. So that was a lot of fun. I love getting out on the getting out to that Sandy Hook Bay, man. It's a good feeling.
How many? What was it? 4 or 8 hour trip?
It was technically we were out like 5:30. We were heading out. We got back around lunchtime. So I guess it was a 6-hour trip.
Those are perfect amount of time.
It was perfect, yeah. And we also he caught live bait, so he was throwing his net out, which was super cool.
Yeah.
Watching him throw the net, and like we couldn't get anything in the little river.
Yeah.
But then we went out, and when we were in the Sandy Hook Bay, we could see like the water from, what are the little fish called? They're called
Lochilles or
no, it was I forget, but he threw the net out. And he pulled in like 100 fish. Like
Wow.
the entire
Yeah.
floor of the boat was covered, so we were throwing them in the little bait box. And
That's cool.
once you threw the live on a rod, and it was so cool because you would see your little fish swimming around, and then you'd see it. Some of them would skip out of the water because a striper would come to try to bite them, and it was like Nat Geo. You just see this fish come along, and
going on a charter is so much fun.
it's a lot of fun. We should do a Garden State charter.
Shout out.
I'd love to get out.
Who's the dudes who took you out?
Thin Blue Charters, my man, Captain Dan.
Captain Dan.
Captain Dan.
Dan was a good dude, man. This guy, yeah, he was a cool guy. He knows what he's doing. I'll say that.
I would love. Yeah, dude, we got to hit that.
So yeah, that was my update. That was a Monday I did that. The weekend I really didn't do anything, and I'm a little disappointed. I will say I got no DMs about people trying to sell me their house.
I guess no one wants to give up their house, dude. In
Yeah.
this market, are you surprised?
No, not
In this
really.
economy.
In this economy.
But so what were you guys? You guys were on tour this weekend. Did you do anything else? Like, was there any highlight moments that made you think of Jersey while you were away?
Well,
There's something.
I have a question for Chomik after this.
What's your question?
Well, it's your first tour experience. How are you enjoying it so far? What's bus life like?
It's awesome. Living on a bus is not for everyone. It's a hustle, bro, and it's cool. I like waking up every day in a new place.
Yep.
Like you go to sleep, bus wheels up are at 2 a.m. and then you wake up in the morning and you're in a new city. So it's
Yeah.
kind of nice. You're not like waiting like 8 hours to get to the next spot. You know.
Well,
You're-
that's what I said. Like my favorite part about that drive to Pittsburgh was I slept the whole time. I hate the drive to Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. There's nothing good on that drive. It's so boring. So
Yeah.
you just sleep and it's cool. It's cool like being able to shoot content every single night in different places, different venues that we're playing like 5,000 cap venues. So every venue is different. It's huge. And it's like a free excuse to road trip.
Yeah.
Basically, you're working, but like you get to
Yeah.
see new places every single day.
And
so.
you're with your friends. It's amazing. I mean, I love tour life so much. I was lucky enough to tour with Arizona in 2018. And ever since then, for work, I drive Turnpike all the time. And I drive in Turnpike in the morning and you see tour buses pass you. And I'm like, I wish that I was on tour right now. And
now it's you.
well, the other day, as we were driving back to Secaucus, we were driving down the Turnpike, and I had to get out of my bunk and sit in the front lounge, and watch the drive and be like, wow, this is like where the past 4 years I've been like, I wish that was me on that bus, and then today that was me on that bus. So
Pretty cool.
That's a joy to have you on here, Jim.
yeah,
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm basically home today. Today was our off day, and then we leave tomorrow. So that's why I'm gonna be remote the next few weeks. There'll be some special guests here and there. And Jimmy jumps off the tour after North Carolina, so he'll be back here with Josh. So yeah, the podcast is in good hands, boys. We're gonna be all right.
Very good. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad you guys are having fun on your tour while I sit home on tour. But that's really awesome. I'm excited to see like what kind of stuff you guys see. You got to take some pics and try to look for Jersey people for the rest of the tour.
Definitely.
That's the only ask I have of you.
Yeah, seriously. If anyone's listening from out of state, we're coming to your city. Go to the This Is Arizona Music Instagram and you could see the tour dates, and I'll be on that whole run. If you want to come say hi, come hang out. I'll have a camera in my hand. I'll be chilling.
And I'll be back for the show in Red Rocks.
Yeah, Jimmy's coming to Red Rock, so that's going to be amazing.
Awesome. All right, you guys want to crack open this mailbag and see what we got this week?
Yes, sir.
If you want to call the mailbag, this is the number.
908 67 99 99 3.
Hey guys, my name's Pauline. I'm from the North Jersey area. I just wanted to let you know, with North Jersey, with May 5th, Cinco de Mayo's episode, Branchville was brought up, but was said that it doesn't exist. But it does, in fact, it exists in the North Jersey.
Dang.
So I just wanted to update you guys on Branchville.
have a friend in
Secondly,
Branchville.
I know there was a topic about hiking trails and everything like that. I mean, I don't know how heavy of a hiker everyone is, but there is a hiking path in Vernon, New Jersey, which is called Stairway to Heaven. It's a very steep incline hike. I've done it once, and I said I'll never do it again because it's just very, very rough. But, I mean, the view at the end makes it worth it. But if anyone's looking for that, we have that in Vernon, and then that actually connects with the Appalachian Trail, which you can walk, like, on a boardwalk and stuff, which is actually really nice. So just wanted to, spread some love for the North Jersey side, hiking, towns, whichever. But, yeah, thanks. Love the podcast. I'll be listening for you next week. Bye, guys.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Very cool.
Mailbag.
When you guys said Branchville, and you were like, oh, Branchburg. Branchville's not a thing.
Who said Branchville? It was Jimmy.
I have a friend who lives in Branchville, actually.
And you said it doesn't exist?
The thing about Branchville is that's where the Victoria Diner is. I've always wanted to stop at that diner. I don't know if it's good, but it looks like a good diner.
Yeah.
Is that the one on 206 or 202?
206.
206, yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly where this is.
Yeah,
Jimmy, you're supposed to know this place better than we do.
I know. It was a mistake. But also,
Is 206 where that fire truck bagel place is?
yeah.
I know exactly where we're looking at right now. Okay,
I never knew. This whole
Firehouse
time we've been
Bagels.
driving.
Wait a
We've been
second.
driving through Branchville.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Every
even
time
know.
we go to Stokes, we drive through Branchville.
Never
Wait a
knew.
second. What is the Jumbo Land Diner?
I've been there.
Oh, we always pass that one too.
Any
Yeah.
good?
I enjoyed it.
That's a great name, Jumbo Land.
Isn't
It
it-
sounds exciting.
Isn't it based off like a giant egg? Isn't that like shaped like an egg on the outside of it or no?
Let me look it up. Hold on.
No.
Before we move on, Jumbo
I don't
Land
think so.
Diner. She mentioned Stairway to Heaven.
We've
and
done that.
I was thinking about that when we were actually talking about hikes, but Jimmy started going with all these little
Unknown.
underground hikes, and I was like, I feel like people got to know that one, but maybe
Yeah.
not. So
I know. Were you with us, Sobo, when me, Chomik, and Breezy did that hike?
no, I don't think I've ever done Stairway to Heaven.
I
I've
don't. I
heard
don't
amazing things
remember
about it.
Yeah.
which one was that.
That's the one that we did when we went hiking and met that kid, Volani. And the next day we went hiking with Rob Ganelli.
Didn't we do Stairway to Heaven then on our camping trip all together with the boys? Where Sobo and Steve were climbing the trees and hanging off it.
No,
that was in High Point.
that was
Oh,
that was
dude,
different.
all these trails are amazing.
They all look the same after a while, but maybe not.
Why is that one called Stairway to Heaven? Is it just like a really steep incline?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's just a local name, really. It's part of the Appalachian Trail. So if you hike the whole Appalachian Trail, you'll end up there. At the top of it, they also call it Pinwheel Vista.
Cool.
So it's in Wawayanda State Park.
Who named it Pinwheel Vista?
I don't know. Probably just some hiker and the name stuck.
Oh, but what does the state recognize it as?
I think they recognize it as just the Appalachian Trail.
Because Stairway to Heaven sounds really cool, even if that's like folklore, like people made it up themselves.
I think it's like an all trails thing. Someone just named it that because
It's pretty cool.
It's just called the Appalachian Trail according to this, but according to the Wawayanda State Park trail map, it's also called Pinwheel Vista, the lookout point.
Stairway to Heaven is on Google Maps, so I don't know if that counts for anything. But
That is pretty official if it's on Google Maps.
Yeah,
there's
but
a
I'm-
hot dog station next to it.
I don't know. I'm looking at the official Wawayanda State Park map, and it says nothing about.
Well,
Stairway to
Google,
Heaven.
Google Maps has it, so Google knows everything.
All right.
Jimmy, please.
No.
Well, thank you so much, Pauline, for calling in with that update. Sorry we, nixed Branchville from existence in New Jersey.
It was really Jimmy. It wasn't us.
I have another New Jersey update before we even get into the news, because she just reminded me. I ate at a diner down near Cherry Hill yesterday.
Oh,
And I wanted to do a review, but I was with too many people. It just did not work out.
What
Which
diner?
diner?
Olga's. You know Olga's?
I've never been to Old.
Hold on. It was really, really nice. Hold on. Olga's. Hold on. Baba Olga.
I think of my grandma.
Olga's Diner, Cherry Hill. It was like near Cherry Hill. Dude, yeah, it was super
Oh, it looks
nice.
so cool.
Marlton, New Jersey.
I've been to Marlton.
Olga's Diner. Dude, this place was a nice diner. Very, very nice.
I know you didn't do a review, but if you were doing a review, what would the Josh Sobo score be?
I mean, my meal, I got the meat lover's omelet. So it was just like an omelet with tons of cheddar cheese and meat in it. And it was fantastic. I was super hungry.
With the vibes.
It was like a low 4. Yeah, it was like a low 4, somewhere in that range. But I need to go with the intention of doing a review.
Yeah.
I was too fixated on conversation with the people I was with to be like really absorbing everything.
Do you think that plays into it though? You were so distracted by the conversation, by the good times you were having with your friends that you didn't even think about doing a review because you were having such a great time at this diner.
No, I wanted to do a review. I just was trying to be polite to people.
Okay.
They were talking to me and I don't know. I was going to go around film it and do a voiceover later, but then I was kind of like, that's just a lot to do right now.
It is. Hey, it's not easy making a review.
But shout out to our South Jersey listeners in the Marlton, Cherry Hill area. We salute you. We recognize you. You do exist. We're not gonna branchville you, which should be our new term.
Don't get branchvilled.
Don't get branchvilled. So, all right. Well, you guys want to go into the news? We got a great lineup tonight.
Yeah, if you want to call into the mailbag, like we said earlier, you can call our number 908-67-99-99-3 and just leave us some voicemails of some Jersey facts.
Yes.
If you want to know something about Jersey, you want to ask us something, let us know on the mailbag. We're going to be so happy to answer you, and it's cool being able to connect to people with listeners like that. So definitely hit up the mailbag. We love hearing from you.
Hit it up. All right. Hey, before we get into the actual lineup, there's one story update I have this week that I wanted to go over, and that is that the Union County seal is not going to be changed. Do you guys remember when we talked about this?
Yep.
There was a story in Union County. There was a county seal that depicted a woman during the Revolutionary War defending her home and getting shot on the seal. Pretty gangster looking.
Musket violence.
Yeah, musket violence. And they people in the area were saying, well, this depicts violence against women, so we got to get rid of the seal. And then it was kind of like, well, hold on. She's kind of our point was she's kind of a hero. Like, that's why we're putting her on the seal.
Yeah.
And well, guess what? They're not changing the seal after all.
Last week, literally a week ago, Jimmy was like, they're going to change the seal. It's official. So what happened?
They announced that they picked one.
Then what happened?
I don't know.
Did it randomly just get flipped? Did the big man step right in and be like, nah, we're not changing this thing? Whoever that big man is.
Murphy. He called Union County directly.
It says the Union County seal was almost changed last week, if not for the efforts of concerned organizations and individuals in the Union County government.
Wow.
So there's a whole article on it. I mean, Union News Daily. I don't think it's that interesting that we need to get into.
You could search it.
But like the Historic Society got involved in, and it was a battle.
You don't mess with the Historic Society of Union County. You just don't.
Battle over the seal.
Battle over the seal.
The Navy SEALs came
The
out.
Union County Seal Battle of 23.
Dude,
it's going to go down in the history books.
The recommended seals were so trash.
Dude, I would have been so mad if they changed it. It was so trash.
The one with the building on it.
The original seal would look awesome as a patch on a hat. I might just
The new rendering was like me Googling like a photo of a city in Jersey and just like placing it into the seal. It just wasn't good. So thank goodness they didn't do that. Let's keep history as it is. We're not offending anyone.
Wait a second. It wasn't the Revolutionary War.
It was.
The Civil War?
I thought it was Revolutionary War.
Wait, it had to be the Revolutionary War,
was.
though. But why does it say? The date on it is the date they founded Union County.
Yeah. Even though the thing is from Revolutionary
Because I'm like
War.
1800s. The Revolutionary War was in the 1700s. Okay, so yeah, if you live in Union County, you can sleep in peace tonight, knowing your seal is protected. Jimmy and I were driving a few weeks ago together, and you know, like at big intersections, sometimes they'll have like signs like "Welcome to this town."
Yep.
There was a sign, a Union County sign, and the seal was in the bottom right corner. I was like, "Hey, there it is!"
It was the Union County Park sign.
It is cool to like see it out in the wild like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. So, like I said, if you're in Union County, this is a battle that we fought and we won, much like the Revolutionary War. We're fighting our own battles for this generation. So, all right, let's move into some real news. This is juicy.
Great week.
In Hopewell, New Jersey, a meteorite smashed into somebody's house.
How big was this thing?
What the heck?
Dude,
we have meteorites smashing into homes now? What's going on?
Yeah, this story's out of our friends over at News 12. Shout out to News 12. And it says a meteorite, and there's a picture of it. It says possible meteorite, which I'm guessing it's hard to guarantee it is.
That's a giant rock.
It's about the size of a softball, I'd say, right?
And that's flying into
Did it leave a hole?
what?
Yeah, it's shot through the roof, dude. Oh
Jimmy,
my
it's
God.
a giant rock coming from the universe.
1,000 miles an hour.
Jeez.
A possible meteorite struck a home in the Titusville section of Hopewell Township Monday afternoon. The Hopewell Township Fire Department says that a rock-like object the size of an avocado, okay, so my sizing was a little off, left a hole the size of a grapefruit inside the home. It was apparently warm to the touch. They believe the object is part of a meteorite. What do you think about that? That's pretty cool.
And it happened in the afternoon. So like, say you're sitting at home or like right now, like we're
Yeah.
filming this podcast and like an avocado-sized rock comes through the ceiling.
Well, hold on. That's
That'd be
what's interesting.
wild.
That'll
It's-
kill you.
It says one,
yeah.
one person was inside the home at the time but was not hurt. Can you imagine hearing a smash? That'd be pretty interesting. It happened around 2:30 p.m. The daughter of the resident says the object bounced around the room after it landed. The Trenton hazmat team came out to make sure it was nothing dangerous or to worry about. The house and the meteorite were deemed safe. Experts from the College of New Jersey were also expected to come out and test the object. This is the one interesting point. According to the Smithsonian, the only person in recent history confirmed to be injured by a meteorite was a woman in Alabama in 1954.
Wow, 1954. That's a long time.
Dude, that's such a cool way to
Dude,
get hurt.
How, but like, should we be alarmed here? Like, should I be expecting a meteorite to just come through my house at any moment now? Like, how? So that's just a really rare case of a meteorite.
I mean, I think that they come down all the time. They just might not be that big and hit
What,
anything.
they're like little pebbles, you're saying?
Well, don't they burn up upon like entering our atmosphere
Well, that's
for
a
the most
meteor.
part?
I think so. That's the way they differentiate a meteor from a meteorite.
What's the
I
difference?
I think a meteor is where like a meteor shower. You see them raining down. A meteorite is one that makes it into our atmosphere and doesn't burn before getting in. Which, if you think about it, if that's actually, did I get that right, Jimmy? I
I'm looking it up right now.
think he's fact checking me.
When the meteoroids enter Earth's atmosphere
Meteoroid.
at high speed and burn up, the fireballs or shooting stars are called meteors. When a meteoroid survives a trip through the atmosphere and hits the ground, it's called a meteorite. Wow, you're so smart. This is almost like
Yeah.
Chomik saying it's a
solar. What was that? wait, hold on. We gotta remember that. A solar.
it's
I forgot, guys. It's
you know, hey Chomik, what happens, you know, when this
It's a solar something. That was the funniest moment on this podcast ever.
when the northern lights happen? What's that called, Cho?
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember.
solar freaking. He was like a solar. The way he said it was so funny.
It's funny how you guys can't even find it now.
It's a mass ejection.
A mass solar ejection, something like that.
Yeah, mass
a
solar.
solar mass ejection.
Yeah, that was what it was.
Well, my question, Jimmy, if you could also fact check me, how often do meteorites come in, like land in people's homes? Like, when's the last time a meteorite hit
Jimmy's
a New
fingers
Jersey
are
home?
Jimmy's fingers are smoking over there.
There are about 17,000 of them a year,
Wow.
but not hit homes.
Not avocado size.
You asked how many meteorites.
I know, but how many avocado size? Because that would kill you if
Yeah,
you're walking in the park
oh, yeah.
and a meteorite comes and just lands on that thing is just destroying you.
See, I don't worry about that because if that's the way I died, then it was so meant to happen. Like if I'm walking in a park
Yeah,
and I get hit in
what
the
are
head with
the
a
odds?
meteorite, then it's like I think my family would feel peace. I think would you not feel peace?
I would take a photo of the area where you got hit and
go-
frame it and be like, this was the spot Josh Sobo got rammed by a meteorite.
This is crazy.
What?
Scientists estimate that about 48.5 tons of meteor material falls to Earth each day. 48.5 tons.
Wow.
But where's it land?
Well,
All over.
you think
Earth's a big place. It's mostly water, so it
water
goes
and
into the
desert
ocean.
and forest. But here's the other thing to think: like, what percentage of the Earth is houses? Probably not a big percent.
That's a great question.
See if Jimmy can find that. While you look that up, here's the thing to think about. If you look at this, this is a rock. How does a rock burn up? Like I know it has to be molten hot. Like think about that. It burns up. Light a rock on fire. You can't burn that thing up. How hot is it burning?
Well, isn't it originally just like lava or basically like something
No.
like lava and just
I think
hardens
it's
into a rock?
A rock piece of a planet, or not a planet, a piece of an
a rock
asteroid,
in,
maybe?
yeah, it's just a rock
a rock in
orbiting the Earth.
space, and then it breaks off and and gets sucked into our atmosphere. And as it does, the speed is so fast it burns.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to let the people keep the meteorite as a souvenir?
I'd want it.
Or do
It's
you
your
think
property.
like the Smithsonian's are going to take it?
Well, how could they? It's on your property. It didn't come from somebody else's property. I don't know if space is technically anybody's property.
Do you think it was like hot when it landed in their house?
They said it was warm to the touch.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
The article said it was warm to the touch.
I would have got like one of those glass container boxes or whatever and place it there as like a souvenir. So when people walk in my house, I'm like, that thing almost just killed me.
I think this is a lot. This is definitely a way to become a superhero, like touching an asteroid after it comes in your
You're
house.
right.
It's an
Maybe-
opening to
Yeah.
a great
Maybe
coming
you
of
shouldn't.
age 80s Steven Spielberg movie. Like someone's watching TV and an asteroid shoots into their house and then they touch
Yeah.
it and then it's like the opening to E.T. or something.
Was there a photo on the article of what the house looked like with the grape-sized fruit?
Yeah, absolutely. We have
The opening?
let me see.
Yeah, I wanna
Actually,
see the
not
hole
this
in the roof.
Not this
I want to see the hole.
Yeah.
What a hole.
USA Today. Let's see. Okay, there's the suspected asteroid. If we scroll down a little bit, I could have sworn I saw a picture of the house.
I could look it up later. You don't have to like worry about it.
Yeah, it was just
Well-
like, talking about like a little ranch style house, little white house, I believe it was, maybe blue.
While you're looking for that, let's play a little quiz based on your question.
Uh-oh.
What percent of Earth is houses?
Oh,
Is it multiple choice?
No. Just give me a percentage.
it's gonna of houses?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Like livable land that people live on.
livable land.
So you're including people's acreage that they own?
No, just that's built.
Okay.
Built land.
I'd say 2.3%. No, not even. No shot. I'd say 1.7%.
We're gonna go 3.5%.
Both very off.
Oh, is it higher?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
so then it has to be livable land.
26%.
Because like you have to think, like look at Texas. If you stacked all the
So the actual thing is
We're
what
so
percentage,
dumb with
what
these answers.
percentage
I don't
of
even
Earth's
know.
land is used for infrastructure?
wait, that could be roads.
Yeah, roads, buildings, all
Roads take up
pavement,
a lot.
etc.
Let's go 22, Josh.
No, not that much. Because 70 something percent water.
Yeah, so the rest is basically.
I would say I'm gonna go with 13%. That's way too high.
What
I
is
think,
it,
too.
Jim?
You're right. 71% of Earth is water.
Okay.
29.2%.
There's no way. That's a joke.
Yeah, this is what it says. Oh, well, it says Earth is 30% land. Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically
that's all
Jimmy.
land. Okay. Sorry.
Think about
Jimmy, that was awful.
Okay, 20% of that is built.
there's no shot.
20% of 30%.
What website are you on?
That is a catastrophic joke.
That's what it says according to Earth.org.
Have you ever drove
It
through?
is a .org.
Okay, first off, a majority of people live in metropolitan areas, and Manhattan is only like 6 square miles. Go upstate New York.
Oh, you know what? So I'm reading something more accurate here. The correct figure for the percentage of Earth's landmass which is actually occupied by humans is 0.03%.
Okay, there we go.
See, we were close, Jimmy.
1.7 was my guess, I think. All right.
Earth.org.
Guys, we're sounding really stupid on this podcast. Let's move on from the asteroid. This next story, guys, I'm just going to say it. This is a crazy one. Might be in my top 5 for weirdest stories we've had. And it's sad. It is sad. I don't mean to laugh. In Woodbridge, New Jersey, a French bulldog was stolen from a dog park, and the suspect is holding him ransom for $8,000.
Okay, this is so crazy. Someone I work with right now is going through the same thing
What?
with their
Dogs are being stolen everywhere.
their cat ran away, and she posted on like one of these neighborhood like Facebook pages, and she got a text message from someone, like she put her phone number there and said, "I have your cat and I'm holding it ransom. I stole it from you." But it's a scam
How's it a scam?
because this person doesn't actually have her cat.
Oh, they just see the missing posters?
Yeah.
Okay, this is totally different.
But still,
This was like an actual theft.
That's
Listen
crazy.
to this story. This is bizarre. So, a township man, this is in Woodbridge, a township man said his 5-month-old French bulldog was dog napped during a play date at the Woodbridge Dog Park on Friday. Xavier Burgos, 22, took to Facebook to say his dog Enzo was stolen by someone who he thought he could trust to have a dog date with, his Frenchie. So while the pups were playing, Burgos said he walked to his car to tell his girlfriend something. By the time he got back, little Enzo was in the man's car, which fled the scene.
wow.
Burgos said he tried to run after the car, but couldn't keep up, and they got away. He told News 12, shout out to News 12 again, that he met the man about 4 months ago through a mutual acquaintance. A couple of weeks ago, he said the man informed him that he too had French bulldogs and wanted to know if Burgos was interested in planning a doggy play date at the park. So on the morning of May 5th, Burgos met the man so the dogs could have some fun. That is when the dog napping took place. So it gets even weirder though, okay? So later that night, he received a video of his dog from the man along with a text message that stated, "I swear any funny biz, I'll kill you, Fluffy." Jimmy.
It's unreal.
Jimmy. Jimmy just laughed.
Yeah, I'm so invested in this. I didn't even hear Jimmy laugh.
Dude, that's
I'll
someone's
kill
dog.
your Fluffy.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Man, we gotta break the things up with a sound effect. I was gonna put a sound bite, but yeah, it's messed up. He said, "I swear any funny biz, I'll kill you, Fluffy."
You never know who you're going to meet at a dog park. That's just terrifying.
Can't trust anyone.
I have a theory on dog parks, by the way, after this, and this story is killing my theory. But okay, hold on. So the text also read that if he wanted $8,000 if Burgos wanted to get Enzo back. Burgos told News 12 he is desperate to get his beloved Frenchie back, and he's willing to pay the money, but he won't do it without being able to see his dog first.
Oh wait, so he's like, here, $8,000, give me my dog back.
Yeah.
Can he get the dog back for free by reporting this guy for dog napping?
Well, how are they going to track the guy down?
Text messages? I don't know. The government can track anyone down.
I'm sure they know where he lives.
I don't know. He might be. I mean, unless maybe he has maybe he does this to a lot of people, and he has some sort of a.
That's like if your child was kidnapped. Like, there's always going to be a way.
Very easy. You don't go to the news, first off. You go to the police, and then the police follow you to where you're doing this money exchange.
So
That's what's confusing about this whole story.
I don't know. I doubt it though, because I feel like he would say, "Wire me the money, and then I'll leave your dog somewhere."
Oh, that's a good point.
I guarantee
you're
he's not going to go, "I'll meet you at Target." Yeah, it's not going to be like that, like in the movies. This is crazy. This is why you
don't
can't
really
trust
hear
anybody.
about. Yeah, I don't think we've ever done a story like this one before. I didn't realize dog nappings are happening around the state like this, but it's messed up, man.
Well, people love their dogs too. Dogs are like family members for a lot of people. So you take my dog, it's almost like taking my kid. I mean, I have a kid and I don't have a dog, and I'll say I don't think it is like that. But for some people, people are weird nowadays, man, with their dogs.
I can't, dude.
People call themselves like dog mommies.
It's too much, dude.
It's in everyone's Instagram bio.
Dog mom.
I'm a bird mom, but that's a different story.
Bird mom.
Anyway.
My brother. All right.
So
my sister, I should say.
I'm just saying the play date must have gone really well. If the two dogs were getting along, this guy's like, now Enzo's going to come live with us.
That's creepy. That's straight out of that movie. What's the movie where the lady captures the author in her house? The Stephen King book.
Yeah, I forgot, but I remember we watched that.
No, not Psycho. It's oh man, the listeners are gonna be mad.
It's on our list. I just can't see it from here.
It's gonna kill me. I should look it up, but I'm not gonna. But that's creepy. This poor dog.
Pervert.
This poor dog Enzo, which is a strong name for a French bulldog. He's we want to free Enzo. So hashtag free Enzo. Leave a comment. Free Enzo.
I just hope that Enzo's being taken care of pretty well in the hands of the kidnapper, the dog napper. Enzo's got to come back home, man. And we don't want to give this guy $8,000. So
no.
TikTok, Instagram, do your thing. Like, seriously, we need to figure out a way to get this guy's dog back.
And we could put a picture of Enzo up.
Oh, I mean, he's so cute.
He is really cute. The only picture they got of him is a little bit blurry though.
Aw.
Enzo.
But, man, NJ1015 is so funny. They'll go from a picture of a dog to like articles, NJ's cutest pets 2023. So what's going on over at 1015? I love those people. All right, so that's a crazy story. So here's my theory on dog parks. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
My theory is if you're a single person and you're looking for a serious relationship, get a dog, go to a dog park.
I've heard about this.
Maybe I told you my theory.
No, but I know people who do this.
I think it's a good idea.
Until that person you're talking to steals your dog out of nowhere.
Yeah, this is a little bit, that's what I was saying. It kind of destroys my theory. My theory worked because I was saying you have common interest off the bat, dogs.
Yep, dogs.
And then also it shows that they're a responsible kind of person. They're keeping a dog alive.
Yep.
Now, on the flip side, they might be a kidnapper, dog napper. But you could also fall in love. You never know. A dog park.
With a dog napper.
Hey. And you guys are like Bonnie and Clyde stealing dogs all across.
Yeah.
What a story.
Wow. All right. So that's my stupid theory. All right. If you guys happen to see Enzo or you know Enzo or you see your neighbor mysteriously brought home a new Frenchie and you live in Woodbridge. You live in like Edison and you're like, my neighbor did just get a new French bulldog. You could report this to the Woodbridge police. I'm sure they'd be happy to hear from you. All right.
And the dog's name's actually Enzo too. Weird.
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying.
Gabagool.
All right. Next story. I'm telling you, this lineup, guys, is crazy. This past week, a New Jersey woman hopped on the wrong flight and flew internationally without a passport.
She just wanted to go to Jamaica.
Well, this is an interesting one because this lady was trying to go to Florida and she pulled a Kevin McAllister, Home Alone 2.
Did she go? She ran to the wrong gate in a rush?
I don't know how you do that, though.
But
You
don't they
don't.
check your ticket before you get on the flight?
Here's the thing is when she landed in Jamaica, she wasn't allowed off the plane because she didn't have a passport.
Yeah.
A New Jersey woman who intended to visit Florida claims that a gate change caused her to go to Jamaica instead of Jacksonville. Gloucester County resident Beverly Ellis Hubbard told WPVI that she regularly flies from Philly to Jacksonville. She arrived at her gate for her November 6th flight that read Philly to Jax, PHL to JX. I fly once every 6 weeks. I picked Frontier flights because we flew so often, she explained. Ellis Hubbard asked the gate agent if she could quickly use the restroom. When she came back, the flight was almost fully boarded and she was rushed on the plane. This is straight out of Home Alone.
Straight up.
The gate agent said, come on, give me your boarding pass. I would say, I took about 10 steps and she said, are you Beverly Ellis Hubbard? The New Jersey resident explained. I said, you just had my boarding pass. You just checked me in. Yes, she said. All right, go. So she gets on this plane. And once she was on the plane, the flight crew told Ellis Hubbard that the Jacksonville flight had a gate change and that their plane was en route to Jamaica. Sandals, Jamaica.
So that's the thing. That's why you should always be able to scan your boarding pass again, or like the flight. That's on the gate person.
Yeah, I
right?
blame the gate person.
Feeling hot.
Did she have to pay for a flight out of Jamaica, or did they?
I doubt it. They probably hooked her up or helped her out.
So it said without a passport, Ellis Hubbard was unable to leave the plane. Once it landed, she remained in the jetway, which she says is considered U.S. soil. The flight crew stayed with her until her flight to Philadelphia took off several hours later. Ellis Hubbard said that the flight mishap was not the only misfortune she experienced on the trip. When she put her personal travel bag in the baggage sizer, she scraped her arm.
Okay. Not a good day.
Man. Straight to jail for these airline crew workers. She scratched her arm and you shipped her to Jamaica. Messed up.
It's just so like,
You're like dumbfounded right now.
yeah, because it's on her, but at the same time, like they shouldn't have let her through that door. I feel like all these gate agents are so strict whenever I fly.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't just let me get into a flight without checking my boarding pass again.
Have you ever flown Frontier though?
I have.
Really?
I have, yeah.
I've never flown Frontier.
It's not bad.
I will say that Home Alone, when I watched that, you always watch it and go, that's so unrealistic. But that
was
I
pre
think-
9/11.
I was going to say, pre 9/11 world, totally, I think that
Yeah,
counts.
easily.
Yeah.
You're like a little kid running through the airport. It just makes sense. So, what doesn't make sense, though, if you think about that scene, is he has a seat on the plane and the plane is like packed. And it's at Christmas time.
There was one seat left. It's a Christmas miracle.
I think, yeah, it is. We talk about Home Alone once a week now.
Because there's so many real life references to the movie Home Alone. It really goes to show how realistic that movie is. Best movie ever created.
Very realistic. I love the
Highest rated movie,
the
I
tool
think, on the
chest
charts.
smashing into his nose.
So good.
And the iron falling and hitting him in the head and the brick hitting him in the head. It's just realism.
I just hate how many arguments I get with friends about that scene being like, oh, he'd be dead in real life. No, he wouldn't. Like, you guys have to look more into the movie. I can't wait for Christmas. We can't watch that yet. It's too early.
we
It's
gotta
too early,
wait.
right?
It's too early.
But Christmas is going to be like next week, knowing this podcast. So.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that's that. She did make it home. So there's a happy ending to the messed up story. And her arm sounds like it healed or it's healing. It wasn't like a life-ending injury. But we do have for our next story a major breaking news update.
What is it? What we got?
The great pasta mystery of Old Bridge, New Jersey has officially been solved.
This kind of disappointed me.
Was it the Elks Lodge?
No, it wasn't. And this story went big time because I saw
This was everywhere.
the New York Post, I believe, reported on the pasta mystery in
The
Old
New
Bridge, New
York
Jersey.
Times.
I'm sorry, the
did.
New York Times. That's what I meant. The New York Times.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the Post did as well. Literally everywhere that could have done an article
I saw
about
that story
it did.
flying around the internet.
Rolling Stone Complex.
Kind of makes me want to see if I could fake a story. We should try to wait a second, guys,
That's a brilliant idea.
because we have an outlet to tell news. We should see
Josh,
if we could fake a news
you
story.
can't say that
We
on the
can't do-
pod because then we're not going to be trusted.
People are
ever.
going to call us fake news.
Well, we got to do one story just as we'll call it a social experiment because then that like intellectualizes it. Like, oh, we were really just trying to see.
It would have been genius if we were
How-
the one to put pasta in the woods. Like, who thinks?
Okay,
of
hold on. Let's think of something right now.
that?
What's
No,
a fake
we can't
news
give it to
story?
them. Can't give it to them
yeah,
because we got to just drop it one day without anyone expecting.
We should internally make guys. We have so much power right now. That's crazy. Okay, so this.
Josh, you're the evil character in the Garden State.
No. That's not evil. It's just fun. It's just good old hijinks. Like nothing. We're not going to say like, oh, your taxes are going. We're going to give like a hijinks kind of story.
All right, so we're not going to fake like a kidnapping
Like
or like
1,000
disappearance.
gumballs released on the Garden State Parkway, causing cars to slip into circles.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Well, that might cause like traffic delays
might
other
cause a
places.
death.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, how about this? Let's go more simple.
We can't have the DOT mad at us.
One heroic dog rescued
Sparky.
rescued a bird from a tree.
I love it.
Like we got to make it, or I mean, maybe more mundane.
I got it.
Yeah.
We could use my pet bird, Applejack.
Okay.
We'll get a tall ladder. We'll climb into the tree, put Applejack on the top of the tree, and being like, wingless bird can't fly off tree. New Jersey man saves bird's life. And it's you climbing up a tree.
I think it needs more viral potential. Like New Jersey man's bird picks up Wendy's drive-thru order for him, and like we just like Photoshop your bird at the drive-thru.
yeah.
With a bag of
yeah, like a string attached to
It's
it.
got to be more like it has to bite. It has to have teeth and
You're
it has to be
right.
memeable. Like this worked because it was a meme. So here's what happened. Let's get to the bottom of this pasta mystery. So in Old Bridge, it says the mystery behind who dumped 500 pounds. It was 300 to 400. Now it's 500 pounds of uncooked pasta in the woods next to a stream in the Middlesex County Township apparently has been solved. According to NBC4 New York, neighbors said the oodles of noodles came from a nearby house that is up for sale. A military veteran moving out of his mother's home after her death found a stockpile of pasta such as spaghetti, ziti, and alphabet noodles that she kept in the house, so he tossed it. The piles and piles of pasta were indeed raw, but the heavy rains over the past weekend made them look cooked.
See, that's why I was confused. It looked so cooked. So that answers my question.
The mess sparked public concern for food waste due to the alarming photos. Nina Jokowitz, a resident of and previous township council candidate, appeared to be the person who first shared the photos of the pasta dump to Old Bridge's Facebook groups. So people freaked out over this, and it's just some guy cleaning out his mom's house. What I want to know is, in what world do you think that's the right approach? Oh, I got all this pasta. I'm just going to dump it in the woods.
Yeah, like, do you think the spot he dumped it was also far from his mom's, or was it like maybe in the backyard? That's what I was also thinking. Like, well, how many trips did he take to the woods to
that's
dump this
great
500 pounds of
question.
pasta? That's a lot of pasta.
Yeah. Well, how much pasta do you think realistically you could carry at once? 60 pounds?
Yeah, 500 pounds of pasta. He had like a truckload.
But like, why don't you just put it in a black construction bag and throw it out? Why put it? Was he trying to feed the animals?
What,
I don't know.
animal's going to eat
Deer.
raw pasta?
Think about how many wild animals are trying to eat human food.
but not
So,
raw.
It does say
Yeah, they won't know the difference, Jimmy.
I don't think an animal would go up to pasta,
No, but
though.
with pasta, you can eat it raw still.
It says the State Department of Public Works cleaned up the noodles from the illegal dump within an hour using 15 wheelbarrows. And the town's mayor, Owen Henry, said the case is now closed. So that's the mystery. It's been solved. And if you hear any mysterious, goofy sounding stories from us in the coming weeks, you just never know. Could be fake news.
Gabagool.
Okay, that's a good idea. We say one New Jersey man dumps 20 pounds of gabagool onto a local.
We can cover Jimmy's car in pasta.
No,
That
I
could
don't
be a
think
hate
so.
crime, though, right? Gabagool, because the Italians.
Yeah, they might get. Well, they won't get offended, but
No, they don't get. Oh, this is pasta. Wait a second. Hold on. What are we talking about here? We should make it like a string of Italian food crimes go all over the state.
what's the next like big Italian
Pizza. We should like say like there was a string of like 40 pizzas found on the turnpike. If we laid out 40 pizza pies in the middle of the turnpike overnight, it would go viral.
We'll have to wear like ski masks or something. And also, how would we get pictures of it?
You know
From a
what
bridge.
would go viral?
What?
We call Murphy, right? And we have him do a Walter White where he throws a pizza on the roof of Drumthwacket.
What's Drumthwacket?
That is the official governor's mansion of New Jersey.
I think it'd be
so then he's like, oh, someone's attacking me with pizza. But it was actually him who did it.
a little niche.
Exactly.
It'd be good for the Breaking Bad fans, but I think the rest of the state would think the governor's lost his mind.
Yeah. Well,
If you guys have a fake story you want us to do, if it's good enough,
Call into the mailbag. Let us know.
mailbag it or send it to our Gmail, and we'll try to get it out there. Okay. So the pasta mystery has been resolved. We're going to move on to this next story, which is this is not good. So nearly 500 students were suspended from Jersey City schools within a 1 month time span.
That's a lot of students. And within a month, unacceptable.
Yeah, something's going on with our schools, and we've talked about it before. And
We've talked about this countless amount of times. And it always comes down to the same thing every single time. That's why I wasn't going to add it at first. But that was just an alarming number that I read about. And I was like, we have to get this out there.
500 kids in the month of March. That's ridiculous.
That's like crazy, bro. What are they doing over there?
That was like a third of my entire
the
school.
entire school's having a brawl.
So it says bad behavior at school is leading to an alarming surge in students getting suspended in a New Jersey city. And the superintendent thinks social media is partly to blame for the rise in violence. The dramatic rise in the number of students suspended in Jersey City moved the substitute teacher for the district to tears. Honestly, this is a quote, "How much can I do? Me being compared to everybody," said the teacher. "I don't feel like kids should be labeled so young. It doesn't make sense to me. They're still growing up." So I guess they're making a point like we should
They're
be
so young. Let them be.
let them be, little.
No punks.
Leaders in the city are determined to reverse the trend that's only gotten worse as the school year has progressed. Evidenced by student suspensions is up 140% since September. That's crazy.
wow.
In the month of March alone, nearly 500 students were suspended district-wide. The most serious out-of-school suspensions for disruptive behavior and fighting also more than doubled. Here's another quote. It says, "Imagine how they feel if they're all getting suspended, all getting into fights, how their ego would say, 'Oh, I'm a bad kid.'"
So someone's defending them.
Yeah, what is going on
They're
with
getting
our
into
world?
fights. You can't
Literally,
just get away with that.
what is going on with our world where like a kid gets in a fight and gets kicked out of school and you're like, "Oh, you're labeling him." And
He's a bad kid.
it's like, what happened to consequences for your actions? You
Right.
can just get in fights in school and like expect to be hunky-dory.
Exactly. So, they are paying the consequence. They're getting suspended, but it seems like it's not enough, Josh. Since 500 kids are getting suspended, what's the next step? Kids are going to keep getting suspended. Kids want to get suspended so they could spend the next day home from school. It's a gray area.
Yeah, well, they're saying that they're blaming social media, and I think social media is certainly a part of it, but that's a secondary
That's
issue
a weak
to me.
excuse. That's a weak thing to blame, though.
Well, who's going to enforce that? Parents are. So if your kid is
Yes.
getting in fights and get kicked out of school, where is the parent when the kid goes home from school going, "Hey, what did you do at school today?"
Comes down to parents. That's it. Straight up.
I think yes, it's a crisis of family for sure. Like
I think
you can't.
we all got in trouble in high school and like growing up for getting into fights. Like you don't get away with punching a kid in the face. You just don't.
Gabagool.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think if you think you're going to punch a kid in the face and like go to class just normally, I remember in high school when there'd be a big fight, both the fighters, the two, if it was like two guys, you wouldn't see them for about a week. One kid came in with a black eye one week. He was wearing sunglasses.
But like that's the thing though. Like, what are these kids doing during that suspension? Are they just at home playing video games, chilling? Like,
100%.
so they want to get suspended, right? Like back when I was in high school, I was like, I kind of wish I got suspended. It seems like a nice free vacation. But yeah. So nowadays it seems like it's getting out of control.
I don't know, man. I don't even know how you fix this. I think it has to be a family solution. Like the state's not going to
That's the
find
thing.
a solution to
We
this.
leave the story at this. Comes down to the parents. We say it every time, and there's no other solution. That's it. That's all I have to say about the story.
Yeah, we in a previous story we talked about how in Newark a lot of kids can't read, and people are like, "Well, people are working 2 jobs," and I totally get the stress of, trying to figure out work and life and all that. But if you to work can't go to your kid, "Hey, what did you do at school today? You got in a fight?" and you can't address that with your kid. I don't know, man. You have to be working a 90-hour week, which maybe somebody is, but I don't think that's the situation.
And I saw a lot of people. I saw that comment you're talking about, but did you see the replies?
No.
A lot of people were replying, being like, "I had that same situation. My parents working multiple jobs, rarely home. But if I did bad in school or got a bad grade, I felt the consequences."
Yeah, because you know
so
what?
yeah,
Here's the
there
thing.
is no excuse.
If you're working, like my dad at one point, he always tells me he worked 3 jobs. Now, granted, a different time, different place, right? But like your parents are working multiple jobs, right? Mm-hmm. I can guarantee you, if my dad's working 3 jobs and he comes home and there's a report card from my high school that's bad, he's not going to go, "I am so tired from work." He's going to go, "Where is Josh?" And there would have been consequences.
Always, yeah,
For sure. It's like, how much time does it take to yell at your kid over a report card and then like say, "Hey, I'm taking that PlayStation away from you." You're not like the stuff that every like teenager went through at some point in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do that, you play those games, and like there's gonna be some sort of consequences. But I don't know. It sounds like these kids are able to do whatever they want, and there's no fear of authority. And this is I think an effect of COVID.
and it's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse every single week. We talk about it. So what's it going to look like in 3 years from now?
It's only going to get, I mean, it's sad to say if you can't write off every single kid here, because there's kids that are going to turn their life around and they're going to go, "Man, I was a stupid kid." And and there's some people that it's going to get worse. It's going to progressively get worse. And that's the really sad thing is, I'm sure there's stats on it, but if you're a kid getting in like constant fights, getting expelled from school, I don't know that trends well into adulthood. Like you got to there's got to be someone in your life that's a positive influence to help you work out those issues. Otherwise, I think the one thing I do agree with what she's saying is when you're a teenager or if you're in middle school, right? Let's say your identity is still the cement is still kind of wet there of like, who am I as a person? If you're constantly getting kicked out of school, then you might solidify that cement, like I was saying, identity as, "I'm a bad kid." Mm-hmm. Like I don't want to go to college. People like me don't go to college, and that is I think a valid point, but that's not on, I don't think, like a teacher to kind of sort out. I think it has to be like a dinner table thing, and that might sound old school and people might say that's not a thing anymore, but it needs to be.
It is. Yeah. It needs to be.
Like if it's not a thing, then that's where the issue is. And we need to fix that part of our culture where families aren't familying anymore.
Yeah, unpopular opinion, but it's so true.
I know that sounds old school and people could say whatever they want, but I think family is the solution to a lot of society. People want to go.
Case closed. Easy.
Everybody has a solution to everything in our culture. It's like, hey, what if everybody just worked on their family? Like if we just fixed our families and like you got along better with your family, that'd fix a lot of the world's issues, I think. I know that's
a lot of people will disagree with you, but I believe it's true.
I don't know. I'm a believer in it, man. We got to fix families, but
for the families.
For the families, for the kids. Yeah, the Garden State Podcast.
For the cure.
We are for the cure. What do you think, Jimmy Parks, before we move on?
For the cure. I'm for the cure, too.
Good.
Jimmy used to fight in high school, but now look at him.
Look at
He's
me
on
now.
the Garden State Podcast.
Wonder why my face looks like this? All the fights.
Oh, speaking of which, before we move on, how's your injured toe?
It's really doing better.
We're getting a weekly update.
So I looked.
We had a Facebook group, Prayer Warriors,
for my toe. But you'd be surprised how many people have been asking about my toe because of the podcast.
Nice.
I can name at least 4.
That's awesome.
I got a text from my friend Carrie Ann today. She's like, "I'm listening to the podcast at work. How's your toe?"
Wow.
So it's getting a lot better. This 2 days ago was the first day I could walk on it without it hurting.
Wow.
Chomik saw when we were in New York this weekend, I was limping around pretty good. So
yeah, I was like, maybe we should amputate this thing. I don't know. But it's good that it's doing well.
I screwed myself over. I walked 7 miles in Boston just in like an hour in the morning with our friend Nate, and that really messed it up. So
glad you're doing better, Jim.
Thanks.
Jimmy's foot gets a lot of airtime on this podcast.
Well, now there's Jimmy's Toes for thecure.org, where people are raising so much money. It's crazy.
Jimmy's Toes. So we're raising money for children that have an injured toe.
Yep.
Jimmy's Toes. That's a great organization for the Garden State. Mark it down.
Write that down. Great.
Don't actually mark. I'm saying actually mark it down.
I get it.
I don't need it in the podcast notes, Jim.
The world's largest beachfront indoor water park is set to open in Atlantic City.
I was just asking you earlier. This is the world's largest?
That's what the article says. The world's largest
AC
beachfront. So I'm guessing they're like trying to find a way to pigeonhole it in. Like, this isn't the world's largest water park, but it is
the world's largest beachfront
water park. Yes, Atlantic City is getting so much is happening in AC.
Every week is like a new AC update.
Water parks, Formula One, apartments, the Vienna. Wasn't the Vienna? The Venice.
Venice.
Is all this happening or are they just proposals?
This is opening in June.
Yeah, this is about to
next
open.
month.
So, New Jersey will soon be home to the world's largest beachfront water park. Island Water Park is the centerpiece of the reimagining of the Showboat, a former casino along the Atlantic City Boardwalk. The Showboat Resort is set for an early summer debut, according to the latest press release on the project. So it will be opening by the end of June. It's 120,000 square feet.
Wow.
Do you guys get excited over water parks?
No.
I mean, if I lived closer to AC, I probably would have when I was in high school. But now I'm kind of in that like weird age where I don't have kids and I don't care to go to a water park. But I feel like if I had children, I think I'd be like, cool, let's take the kids to the water park.
I don't know what it is. I think water parks just sketch me out a little bit.
You know, other than
I'm
the
not
occasional poop in the pool, like it's really, it's nothing to be worried about. I think water parks are very clean and they do take care of it or else they'd be closed down.
So this water park is going to have an exotic island theme with a 300-foot zip line, a coconut coaster
Wow.
that takes its guests on a ride above the water park. And yeah, this isn't just a destination for the little ones. The park will feature several bars, including a swim-up bar, VIP cabanas, adult-only areas, Peloton bikes, manicure stations, and then there's nightlife. So this is turning into something wild.
Also, you missed out on the dozen slides, the lazy river for loungers, and the surf simulator.
Yeah.
So much. This place has it all.
So once the water park is operational, guests at the hotel will be given an hour of exclusive morning access each day before the park opens to the public. So
That's pretty smart.
if you're interested in another water park, Atlantic City is going to have something for you.
So they're just trying to bring in new people into the city, trying to fix the place up because everyone's going everywhere else for the Jersey Shore. So
Yeah.
I guess this is cool too in the wintertime.
It's something to do.
Indoor water parks in the wintertime, like there's a lot of spots like that in like PA. There's like Great Wolf Lodge and there's that other one, Calzari or something like that. But now, hey, Jersey's getting all these indoor water parks, which I think is pretty cool. When I was in high school, I loved going to water parks. I think it's great for families.
Okay,
It's
so
a thing to do in the winter.
how many kids are going to be left at the water park because their parents go to the casino and go, hey, go swim for the day?
It's a genius idea on the business end of things.
If you think about it, it is kind of brilliant. If you have kids that are
They're
like,
going to make money off the parents gambling, and then they have to pay for their kids to go to the water park. So yeah.
whoa.
Also, I don't know if are you allowed to leave your kids unattended? I don't know the rules there.
I bet they're going to have a rule that you can't, but I bet you they're going to want you to because they want your money.
Well, like I guess you could leave a 16-year-old unattended. Like that's fine, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, where's the cutoff age?
Probably 16. That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
We went to Great Wolf Lodge when we were teenagers. We were unattended.
Yeah, I didn't like that place.
That place was epic. I don't know what you were talking about.
I'm not like a water park guy. I'm a hot tub guy. A lazy river is not the worst, but even like I went to a. Like
Is it the tubes?
I just think that like a lazy river, I just picture like, especially at a resort, like this place is gonna have alcohol. Anytime I'm at I went to an all inclusive resort, right? There's lazy river, there's a pool, and it was like an 18+ kind of place. So there wasn't like families with kids. It was just like it was like for married couples to go on a.
Where was this?
This is on my honeymoon.
Oh, cool.
So it's like mainly like a honeymoon location. The
Yeah,
point
yeah.
is you don't want to go on a resort where there's kids screaming in the pool. It's like for adults.
Yeah.
So I know adult only sounds like risque, but it's like just literally for like people that want to go away without having
Not
kids.
deal with children.
And I'm like, I was just at the beach all day, but I'm looking at like the pool and I'm like, there's people swimming up to bars, and I'm like, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't see any of you getting out of the pool and you're drinking an awful lot.
I know certain people who
you know what I mean.
go to these resorts and they hate the beach and they're just pool goers. They'll be at the lazy river all day. They'll be at the water park because they don't want to be in the sand. So
Yeah, I just feel like you're swimming.
they're making money. So
They're swimming in fluids, let's just say. So I don't know, but if you like water parks, Atlantic City may be the place for you.
yeah, if they
this
want to hit us up,
summer.
and I'll go make a video
yeah,
there if
if-
they want to hit us up. I'll go test it out.
DM us.
Hit us up.
What if we cut the red ribbon?
I got to do that at my school's playground.
Where do you get? You told us that. We heard that story before the podcast.
Gabagool.
Where do you get the big scissors for the ribbon cutting? That's the real question.
I have them.
Like pre-Amazon, where do
Wait,
people
how-
get any of that kind of stuff?
You have big scissors?
Well,
You
they're-
keep leaning
they're
over. I'm
works.
scared about your focus, by the way. Be careful.
They're works, but I have access to big scissors.
Josh,
Are
don't
we
look,
talking about like this big, like chompers?
like
don't look
huge.
at my computer right now, okay?
Okay, I'm not looking at your
What do you
computer.
guys think large scissors cost on Amazon? Like the big ones for a ribbon cutting?
$200.
No, $55.
Hold on. Large scissors.
Josh, those are normal size scissors.
There was an image on Google. Oh, here, ribbon cutting scissors. $80.
$40.
It depends if you want like good ones or not.
Yeah. So,
As long as it cuts, does the job.
okay. So
We should get some.
we should see if they'll invite us down, and maybe we'll bring our big scissors with us. Okay. So, last story of the night. This one is a little wompy, but this is Jersey, baby. 2 men were arrested in New Jersey for stealing cooking grease this past week.
Yet another thing I didn't know was hot on the market for stealing.
Stealing cooking grease.
Cooking grease.
Cooking grease.
Today I learned.
Why would you want cooking grease?
to fuel your car?
Let's get into it. A suspect grew violent during his arrest Thursday in connection with several thefts of cooking oil. During a traffic stop on May 4th, a Wayne officer stopped the van and smelled cooking oil coming from inside, according to the Wayne Police Captain Dan Daly. Taishim Good, 30 of Newark, told the officer that the tank in the rear of the van contained stolen cooking oil, officials said.
Wow.
So he just came right out with it.
No, you just told the cops straight up. Yeah, that's stolen cooking oil back there that you smell.
Rashid Wright, 33 of Plainfield, kicked the police vehicle door and spit and urinated in the vehicle, according to Daly. At police headquarters, Wright resisted being placed in leg shackles and refused to walk. He was carried inside and threatened to kill the officer who made the initial stop.
It's just cooking grease. Oh my
Good
goodness.
and Wright were charged with receiving stolen property. Wright also was charged with receiving criminal mischief, resisting arrest, terroristic threats, and obstruction of governmental function, and is being held at the Passaic County Jail pending a detention hearing. So used cooking oil can be used in making of cosmetics, biofuels, and animal feed. Restaurants usually sell the grease to companies, but there's a black market for it.
It's a black market.
So,
right?
private investigator Patrick McCall told News 12 that one barrel can be sold for as much as $900.
What?
So,
Wow.
these guys go out and steal the oil and they go sell it.
That's interesting. I didn't know there was a whole black market for that, dude. Well, how many restaurants must be putting out a ton of that every night, especially the busy ones?
Yeah, especially like a McDonald's, they fry fries all day.
Yeah, oh,
I can
you're
imagine they gotta
right.
have tubs of oil. I'm sure they have a whole process for it, though.
But it's interesting, though, that like, legally you could buy it. I guess if you have a connection with a restaurant, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And what a shame that you get arrested for that, and then you spit and you pee in the police station, and then you tell them you want to kill the officer. Like, way to
You keep
take.
adding. You keep adding on your sentence right
Yeah,
there.
because they're gonna go, okay, keep talking. All right, yeah, you want to kill us? Okay, terroristic threats.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, geez. Well, for everybody out there, if you do steal cooking oil, if you do have cooking oil and you know about this, call in the mailbag. Let us know, because I find this extremely interesting.
It's also interesting how the cops smelled the cooking oil. Like when he
He's
pulled him
like-
over, he's like, "Yeah, your car smells like cooking oil. Let me check that."
French fries, tater tots.
And the guy was like, "Yeah, this right in the back. It's all stolen." So I don't know why he came out and straight up said it, but
Not a good idea.
I would have just said I bought it.
Absolutely. To the kids at home, stay in school, don't steal cooking oil, and do your best to stay on that straight and narrow, right?
Gabagool.
Oh yeah,
And that'd be
look at us.
our main message for you guys as we close out this podcast tonight.
Don't get arrested. If you have a good record, maybe you could end up like Josh, and Jimmy here on the podcast. You
Yeah.
know, starting a little podcast for your state, for your community.
Yeah.
Maybe join the team one day. We need some writers. We need some,
Well, that's a good point.
Partners.
While we're closing out the podcast, if you're a writer and you want to be a journalist for the Garden State, reach out to us. Send us an email. We are looking to expand. And we truly are going to take over the state eventually.
I think it's not because there's no evil intent with taking over the state. I just think there needs to be someone who could do it well.
We're coming in to shake things up.
We're here to shake it up. We're here to make things better. The amount of people, man, I can't tell you how many people come up to us and recognize us and saying,
Yep.
"You guys are my only source of news." Like,
Which is
I don't get
scary.
my news anywhere
That's
else.
scary.
But I'm scrolling through TikTok, I'm scrolling through Instagram, and it's perfect timing. The news story pops up on my feed. Hey, man, listen, we're here for the people. I'm glad we could provide news for the people. It's not for us to become famous, to become rich. It would be nice to make some money, but
Speak for yourself.
hey, we're trying to stay alive here. So, yeah.
Well, if you want to talk about finances, what's one way people could support us, Josh?
Well, if you want to support the pod, there is one way to support the pod today, and it's by buying some of our merch. We're all wearing it right now. We got a bunch of different options in our merch store. We got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we got stickers, we got hats, we got mugs. Look at these diner mugs. They're freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're thick. My mom just bought 4.
Wow.
My mom's a huge fan of the pod. Shout out to my mother. But she's like, I like how they're like really big and they're strong and they're tough. And I'm like, yeah, that's the reason why we made them. So you can get a Garden State Diner mug today or whatever else you find in our merch store at thegardenstate.com. And this summer, we're going to be having a big summer drop coming out soon.
Yep.
No dates yet because we're still finalizing some new items, but be on the lookout for that. Support the show. Keep us fed here. And we're just going to keep trying to make this podcast better every single week from this point on.
I love
There's
it.
no other reason. We can't be going downhill, boys.
We can't.
The ratings need to stay up or all these news stations are going to come after us. So we can't let that happen.
Yeah. And with that,
I think I said enough.
I don't think you said nearly enough, but we're going to end the podcast.
Jimmy looks terrified over there on that side of the mic. Oh, Jimmy, you good?
I'm good.
Good. Well, thank you everybody for listening to the Garden State Podcast. We will be back next Friday with more news for you. In the meantime, go hang out with your friends. Oh, wait a second. In my closing, I have one thought I have to say. This is very important.
What?
I'm ready.
Heinz is releasing ketchup packets. Did you see this?
No.
For every state with state designs on them.
Cool.
And the New Jersey one has a sandwich on it with a bagel and some meat in the middle.
Some Taylor ham.
And it says pork roll on it.
Stop it.
Heinz did that?
Yeah.
Where are they based?
Yeah, are they based like in South Jersey?
I'll tell you right now,
They can't be pushing the narrative of that.
They're
not
from Pennsylvania.
That's not fair.
They're from Sharpsburg.
Yeah, because everyone in Pennsylvania is a pork roll person, of course. That's messed up. Why
So,
did you tell me this?
I'm gonna leave the podcast there, and you guys can just sit on that for the week.
Unreal.
We're gonna talk about this next
That's
week,
so
but
insane.
yeah, I'm thinking about, everyone's we're talking about boycotts a lot lately. The big Bud Light thing's going on. I think it's time we boycott Heinz ketchup.
Wait, was there a news article on this?
No, someone showed me a picture of it the other day.
You
They're
gotta
like, you gotta get the word out there.
Well, yeah, give us some more information so next week we could report on it. That's crazy.
Imagine I'm making this up right now.
You better. Oh, your fake news story, Josh. Are you kidding?
No, it's real. Yeah, that's
See, this is why I can't trust.
But I do have another story
I
for
need
you guys
receipts.
right now.
I need receipts.
I do have a story for you guys right now, actually, that I want to let you know about.
Yes.
Actually, there's 2 things. The Heinz ketchup was the first one.
Dude, this guy wants to end the pod now. He's
No. The
exploding.
second story, this is insane. A hot air balloon full of gumballs flew. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the podcast, and we will see you next week.
Gabagool.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.